Hey folks, it's Egwin here from Beyond Systems. Now today, while walking here, I walked alongside a small lake and I observed a couple of kids playing around, and that's actually what inspired me to this video, because I want to share a little story with you. Now one of those kids down there, they drove around on those tiny little scooter thingies that you're actually perpetual with your foot, so without any motor or anything like that. And they drove from behind pretty close by some people without any regard for possibly being hit by an arm or by someone turning around or something like that. And that made me think, and once again triggering that thought that so many times when adults observe children, we think, oh, whoa, that will definitely go wrong. Like, children do so many different things that out of an adult perspective are prone to go wrong, like right there, right now. But in 99% of the cases, things do not get wrong. There is not an accident happening, although it might seem likely out of the perspective of an adult. And today I just quickly wanted to reach out to you and share with you one of the reasons why that actually is the case. And that has not so much to do with the luck of being a child as it has with the simple situational presence and situational awareness that children, consciously or subconsciously, still have. It completely depends. Some children, they're really completely consciously aware of all their surroundings. Some other children, at the very least, still have this subconscious connection to their more subtle perceptions. When I talk about more subtle connections, like in this specific example of this kid driving by that person, I observed those people later and just watched them from behind. I walked a couple of meters behind them. And when you consciously focus on it, you realize that they give away what they will do in the next couple of seconds prior to them doing it, just out of their body language, out of their energetics, out of just the simple expression and the vibe they give off. And children, luckily, are still completely aware of those things. Doesn't matter if on a conscious or subconscious level, but they still weave that situational perception into their regular day actions. At least if they are allowed to, and if they have still some sort of natural connection in them. Now, I observed that in other children who are sitting mainly in front of the computer all the time or in front of the TV, they lose this ability a lot quicker than children who are still allowed to play outdoors, who do not have parents running behind them every single step of the way, but who are really allowed to make quote-unquote mistakes, who are allowed to make their own experiences and who run around and just simply experience life. And this situational perception that children still have, this is something that we do not completely lose as adults. Most adults don't use it anymore. But we didn't lose it. It's still there. It's just buried in the subconscious layers of our perception. Normally nowadays, most adults, they run on regular patterns, on programs that they picked up through society and through their interactions with other people, through their interactions with rules in terms of walking across the street or something like that. And that's, the more rules there are, the more social interactions there are, the more we tend to lose this situational awareness and this almost naive perception of the world that requires of us to be 100% present, that requires of us to be completely in the moment and actually take a closer look around us using all different subtle perceptual channels. Now the big question is it still possible for us adults to readapt to this type of situational awareness and this subtle perception of our surroundings? And the answer is yes, it's definitely possible. We can quite easily actually retrain this ability that will allow us to walk through life in a much, much smoother way. This is definitely possible, and looking at children, they still live this momentary curiosity. That's just absolutely amazing, because they are not numbed by living by the rules that an adult lives by for the same amount of time yet. The question here is always, well, but as adults, can we still live in such a curious and spontaneous way? Aren't then most rules completely obsolete? Is the system then still working? And those are absolutely interesting questions. Point being, obviously some of the rules are there to help. But yes, there are also much too many rules out there that take out your own responsibility in life. If you cross the street, whether or not there is a street light, it's still your responsibility to check whether or not there are cars. If you only trust the street lights, that's a situation where you actually gave off part of your power, part of your own awareness in that situation. It's still your job to do that. And you can still decide to do it without breaking any rules, without completely falling out of society. So overall, yes, I definitely think that especially adults can definitely learn a lot and relearn a lot just from observing children and just from interacting with their point of view of the world a lot more and allowing those subtle perceptions back into our lives. Because those are what really make life as vivid, as beautiful, as colorful as it actually is. We have the possibility to simply go out in nature or on a walk across the city and be in a childlike, curious state of open eyes, of open perception. If it gets too much, okay, then pull back. But sometimes it's important to dive into this presence, into this perceptual, situational presence, because it allows for much more efficiency in life and for much more efficiency and flow in moving through life. Have a wonderful time. Thanks for watching. Watch out for more of those short vlogs. I'll be doing more of those again in the near future. And if you liked the video, click like and share, and also subscribe to the channel if you want more updates similar to this one, and literally everything that has to do with body mechanics, with movement, with personal development, spiritual development, and all of those things that just simply make us human, or have to do with our human existence, our human being, and our human efficiency. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful time, and see you around. Bye!